Welcome into the right side. Listen, guys.
It just
My
decides to
computer
do it
does
one
that
day.
every day. It's my bad because I was looking at other news stuff and I was considering something I shall share with you, although Allison's fun word is going to be another thing we talk about. But how are you guys? What is good? It's Wednesday.
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 We made it to Wednesday. By the way, do you know people who say like Wednesday versus Wednesday?
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. I feel like a lot of people I know say Wednesday.
That's terrible.
Tuesday. But they won't say Monday. They say Monday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. Words are funny.
Yeah, I have a funny word because we do like words. Well, last night I was at dinner with some friends, some really fun friends. And one of them, they're also political friends, but one of them was talking about that they actually watched, which you said you tried.
I did. I made it through 10 minutes and then we had to turn off the Candace Owens debacle.
The Bride of Charlie.
Yeah.
Well, they watched it.
Wow. I'm impressed.
And there is a word I have never heard that apparently Candace uses to refer to Erica by.
What's the word?
Twat waffle.
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding me?
Have you ever
That's
heard?
The most vile description I think I've ever heard.
Okay, there's no more FCC, so we're good.
I mean, it's not.
It's gross.
It means a complete idiot, a dummy, or an imbecile that cannot adequately describe with those words. So you use twat waffle, which is horrendous.
Yes.
But Candace actually uses it. And now I think we should all know what it means and banish it from our vocabulary from here on out.
Agree.
Well, Candace can't pronounce many words, so that's probably just one of the few ones you can actually. I'm not kidding either. Like
no, I did notice that.
Yeah.
I did notice that in some of the things that I was going through. She has a hard time with words.
What do you like? She doesn't know how to say.
Like, what was the one recently? Insinuate.
It's like she mispronounces words. Her phonics are terrible.
So she doesn't use them incorrectly. She just can't pronounce
the words. Like,
there's a reel of all of her foibles over the last couple of weeks.
What a word.
That
Foible.
She can't. And you feel bad because you're like, I know you want to make this point and I know you're really into it, but you have to say the word correctly. And she doesn't. So to throw out that kind of word, you're like, okay.
But how's that worse than your favorite word?
Mine only has to do with the lining on underwear, like at the waist. That one is, the reason that one is so bad is because that word also means, the beginning of that word also means some other.
Well, if that tells you
things.
Where we are in the Erica Candace saga, we are now calling people twat waffles.
And I still tend to this day, out of the 10 minutes that I watched, bitter woman who was so jealous of Erica and still is because Charlie chose Erica and not her. It is a jealousy because he loved somebody else and she loved him. Go back and look at the videos where it's just the two of them on their tour. She is googly-eyed over him and he's just like, sup. Just whatever. He treats her like a friend. She clearly cares about him and thinks this is going to go somewhere, and it doesn't. And now that she couldn't have them, I believe this is completely generated from that engine of jealousy, and she's just pouring gas on it every day, along with using words I've never even heard of before.
Well, we shouldn't ever speak of them again.
Okay, if you say so.
I had to say, because I didn't know if it was like, we go through words every now, like Riz, no cap, Sigma, all these things that we're old and we don't know. So I didn't know if that was like what cool people were using now.
I can ask Molly.
Probably not. Don't even put it in her lexicon.
Okay.
Well, it's just,
she does have to tell me words.
Not a good. Yeah.
There was one with Candace where she said blitzkrieg and she said blitzkrieg. It's like,
well, it's kind of sort of the same way when you maybe listen to the radio growing up and you could tell the person doing the traffic was not from your area, probably in Huntsville.
yeah.
You know, they would call it Vestavia Hills, or they would call Hartzell. You know, they couldn't quite get the names of the places right. And so I just think that's funny, but that word, oh girl,
Not very ladylike of you, Candace.
It is not very ladylike.
Because she is generally very ladylike.
Yeah. I mean, bless it.
What'd y'all do last night? Anything fun? Or were y'all lame?
I generally, all my days are fun, but the definition of what's fun may be different.
Well, at our age, it's going home and watching some birds for a little while, and then maybe going for a walk, and then getting dinner ready, and then maybe watching a little bit of something and being in bed by 8.
No.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. We can cram a lot in our old age.
It's true. It is absolutely true. I don't even.
What do young people do on a Tuesday night?
Well, mine yesterday was really lame because I had back-to-back nights of like very little sleep. So like when I got home finishing all like this stuff, I literally laid on the couch. Yeah, my job. And like fell asleep from like 5 to like 6 or something.
Good for you.
And then I got up. My aunt was not there. She was at my cousin's baseball game. So I had to make dinner for myself.
What?
And then I fell asleep pretty early, even after I took. So it was.
So now you know what it's like to be a mom.
I needed a night to just.
No, we need to get you married so you don't have to cook. That's what.
That's y'all's job.
It is. Hey, it's our job. I have a question before we dive into. We have so much news today. Can't wait to talk about it all. Can't wait for the montage. Can't wait for what we're going to talk about. Hot flash news. Perhaps a little allegedly section because we didn't get to it yesterday. We
Allegedly.
have guests tomorrow and working on another one for Friday. But I was up early this morning because I'm old and this is what I do. I was up so early that I was watching Fox First while I was on the treadmill.
I don't even know what Fox First is.
Comes on at 4 a.m.
Like 3?
All right. It's before the Fox and Friends.
Lame.
Okay.
That's good.
But the lady who is, I got to look at her name because it's such an awesome name. Nicole Maliakis, the state rep from New York, who's in the U.S. House.
No,
Maliatakis, awesome lady, was doing an interview. And I felt we had this conversation yesterday. I want to ask the audience, this is total participation, but they were asking about messaging and they were asking about like, what's our point with Iran? So while I heard the Daily Wire talk about still working on messaging, she did bring something up. She said, it's the Dems who are out there saying, we don't know what we're doing. They're questioning what's going on. And what are we doing there? Blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, the Dems are out there going, we have no plan. We have no plan. They played it on repeat. They have no plan. Another Democrat going, there's no plan. There's no plan. She said there is a plan, but the Democrats can't get all the information because basically, this is me paraphrasing, they can't keep their mouths shut about what they find out. So they get little bits of information versus the people on the inside who know. The Democrats on the outside don't really know. Do you think that's true?
I'm sorry. I almost got the giggles. So I didn't really hear everything you just said. JP, you've got to stop looking. Okay.
Sorry.
Go back that way. But I think I get what you're saying. Did y'all see Chuck Schumer come out and say,
yes.
And I almost found myself agreeing with Chuck Schumer because he's like, I mean, one day we were preemptively striking on Israel's behalf. One day we don't have nukes. The next day we do. And I was like, from the outside, and if that's what she's saying they're on, that's what it looks like. It looks a little frenetic and some incompetence. I don't know, but it sounds like that briefing to Congress did not go very well.
Yeah.
And they left with more questions than answers.
And they got out with the same talking point that they usually get out with is the same thing with like different views on healthcare. Republicans have no plan. Yes, we do. It's to put it back in the hands of the people. You guys want to override it and do all government healthcare. Like that's the difference. In this case, though, as she was talking, it made sense to me because that's what we've heard before. And she laid it out. She was like, it's to destroy the ability to have any sort of nuclear weapons or any nuclear capability. Also, we wiped out their Navy. And I was like, okay. And then secondarily was dealing with the people and a new leader. I get that. But I thought that was interesting because I hadn't heard that perspective. And I thought, well, that does make sense because they were saying the exact same thing when they got in front of camera, in front of different cameras. That would be the Dems versus the Republicans who are keeping it a little tighter and a little closer, recognizing that their messaging does need work. So can it be both and?
Yeah, I think it's both and. Like there's a reason, excuse me, that they didn't tell Congress about the Venezuela operation because Democrats can't be trusted with that information. They would have leaked it to the media and, but also the Republicans publicly. Mark Wayne Mullen had a big bad one yesterday because he's constantly saying war is bad, war is bad, war is bad, war is hell, war is, and then they're like, wait, I thought you said we're not. Well, no. Like they declared war on us. So it's like, wait, so is it a war or not a war? And he literally out loud said, okay, sorry, I misspoke. And like they don't have their messaging on track. And then Lindsey Graham saying we need to bomb Lebanon.
What, Lindsey?
So
come on, man.
It's all over the place messaging wise. So I would love that. It's a both and. The Democrats cannot be trusted with the information, and that's why. But for goodness sake, is there some messaging person on the Republican side that can at least, but it's a sign that there is not much of a plan right now. And I know some people may disagree with me with that, but I think the lack of messaging shows that they don't even know what to even tell their Republicans to say. So I don't know. I would just love, at the very least, if there's not a plan, at least get the messaging in order so you don't have slip ups like Mark Wayne Mullen and others. But yeah, I do agree with you. The Democrats, I'm not going to trust it from a Democrat's mouth because, you know.
And there are very few Republicans from whom we should trust it either.
So okay. Apparently last night or yesterday, one of our big radar places, I don't know what machines, little radar box over there got destroyed. That's a problem.
That's big.
Did y'all see that they are allegedly giving the CIA is arming Kurdish forces inside Iran?
Yeah. They talked about that on the
super early. So we're starting a civil war.
Yeah,
they are saying, "Hey, Kurds, y'all like to fight."
That's like
waffle. This is basically the paraphrase of the Fox First News rolling into Brian, whatever his name is, Kilmeade on Fox. I don't usually watch them in the morning. He said, "Hey, Kurdish people, y'all like to fight. If anybody's there to fight, it's you people. So could y'all please get yourself together and get in this fight because we want you to fight for yourself. Like, go fight." I don't know how that's going.
This is a Syria part 2. Yeah, except we took out the leader on the front end.
Right. I can't do this, y'all. I can't do this.
So
every single one of our bases in the Gulf region has been hit, taken out. The embassy in Saudi Arabia was attacked again last night. They got everybody out 2 hours before the bomb missile launched and dropped. I mean, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but we got to pull it together real fast.
Yep.
Really fast.
Well, also Tim Burchett said that he was asked about this, and they said, "What do you say to the Republican voters that are concerned about what's happening in the Middle East and another forever war?" And he said he's the only honest congressman right now I'm seeing that's like, stay concerned, hold our feet to the fire, like stay concerned. Where all the other ones are like, where it's like Burchett's like, yeah, keep our feet to the fire.
Yeah,
and we need more of them at least saying that.
So what do y'all think? JP's about to give out the text line number or tweet us or message us on Facebook. But what do you guys think about what's going on? What do you think about Candace Owens' ridiculous word, which is holy cow?
Sorry to start
levity.
the show.
No, we need levity to start the show. And number two, what in the world do you think is going on with Iran, and what should we do about it? Like, are we getting all the information? Are we not? Can we trust the information we're getting? Or is this whole thing prepared and planned, and there's 1, 2, 3, plan 1, 2, 3, and we don't know about any of it? I don't know.
I wish they'd
have
call us.
No idea. They should call us.
We could really help.
Hey, you guys, unless you have something to say, don't get in front of the microphone. Or just say, trust us. I'm kidding. Don't say that. But like, could y'all just
I think
call us?
What this seems like is, we're in the middle of primary season. All these people have really good intentions. So say you want to run for lieutenant governor and you decide, I'm putting my hat in the ring. But you have no plan. You have no consultant. You have no fundraiser. You have no money. But what you have are a bunch of people that are telling you, you can win this. You can do this. You are the best thing ever. That's what this feels like. And usually that doesn't work out well. Sometimes you might squeak by. But it's just like, it seems like they are in their own little DC vacuum that you start tuning out. Like, that's why I say call us, Donald Trump. Like, Pete, give me a call.
We'd give you very good advice.
You start losing reality almost of what, because you're so on the inside and you're so insulated that you can't even see. And everybody's just building up egos or something. All the while, like, the world is burning down. And we're like, can we not go back to making sourdough without the dumpster fire behind us?
I sent that to
that was funny, by the way.
My daughter and my soon-to-be daughter-in-law last night, because we love sourdough. And there's a big dumpster fire behind it. And maybe I'll give it to JP so we can show you good people. Because it's exactly how we feel. Like,
I love sourdough.
You do?
But okay, well, I love it in a different way. I love to eat it, not to make it.
Okay. I have my starter on the countertop. If I get my life together before we leave on Saturday, maybe I'll make you some. You don't know.
Oh, but this is like one of those times where we have our loyal listener that says the Seinfeld quote where George says, it's not a lie if you believe it, Jerry. And I think they all believe it. And they are all thinking they have done the right thing. And this is going to be really easy. And I think they're shocked and waking up that, like, sometimes just because you believe the lie doesn't mean it's true.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the people who do know are not the ones who are talking. I think the ones who really understand, like the people in the military, are like, oh, y'all have at this.
You say, okay, but then is it in the montage where we get to Pete Hegseth in 2018 saying we've got to just like rebuild the temple, and then the memo that went out to the military saying we are ushering in the third temple and Jesus is coming back. I mean, bizarro stuff.
I mean,
Weird. George
H.W. Bush was on record before the Iraq War saying how this is his biblical obligation to bring about the Gog and Magog war in the Middle East, and I'm going to bring in. It's like
that's dangerous.
Bad theology is dangerous. Yes, it's
that
reckless.
Is dispensationalism to the core. That is not what the church believed before 1850. It's not. It's not what they taught. It's not what they believed. And what did we learn about the land of Israel that it was named before they wrote in and named it Israel? Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember this
Rich
conversation. Yes.
Anyway, yeah. When you saw that, you're like, what is
what
is
Pete
Pete
Hegseth? I don't remember.
One of them was named after the father of Zionism, Herzl.
You mean what they were in 1948?
There was also an option
almost,
to go to like Argentina instead of Israel, like in the Middle East. Like,
I thought you were talking about in like the Old Testament. Obviously,
Yeah, it's all sorry. It's from the dispensationalist to the it's my job to usher in Gog and Magog. If you're a dispensationalist, okay, that makes sense. However, that's not what the church taught up until after the Second Great Awakening, and we had all this change in church teaching. So anyway, but that was weird. The whole rebuild the temple situation, really odd.
To send out a military memo, which I guess we'll get to it later. Do y'all want to do the montage now, or do you want to wait? What do you want to do?
I say we get to the montage, and on the other side, get into it.
Okay,
let's go.
Black for News.
So I'm calling on President Trump today. Join Israel to attack Hezbollah. Avenge the Marines. America never forgets.
Senator Lindsey Graham is now calling for the U.S. to start bombing Lebanon in response to the Hezbollah IDF action.
Lindsey hadn't seen a fist fight he hasn't wanted to turn into a bombing raid, so I just take it with a grain of salt, dude.
You can't help but behold the miracle before you. And it got me thinking about another miracle that I hope all of you don't see too far away. Because 1917 was a miracle, 1948 was a miracle, 1967 was a miracle, 2017, the declaration of Jerusalem as the capital was a miracle, and there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible.
And then it turns out that 85% of the people you've gone after have no criminal history whatsoever. How do you explain that?
Sir, when you talk about violent crimes, what you're saying, the crimes that don't matter, that you aren't counting, are ones that affect American families every single day. You're not counting DUIs, you're not counting embezzlements, you're not counting theft, and you're not counting the other crimes against people and drug trafficking and proliferating that. So those crimes on their record, besides the crime of being in this country illegally.
But I won't be back tonight because I have no idea of when we're going to get results, and I fully anticipate it won't be until tomorrow. Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do.
Wow. So it's voter denial when Republicans say it, but when Democrats say there's a problem, we should listen. Is that
she alleged
fair?
She alleged that there was cheating in Dallas County and it was Republicans' fault.
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine. Also, where did her silly accent go?
Yeah, she seemed quite
educated,
intuitive in that.
Sorry, certified black enough person I can ask.
Well,
where
you
did
can
your
halfly
silly, just like Frederick Douglass was half and Booker T. Washington. It's fine. I'm just asking, Jasmine, where did your accent go?
She looks like she should have used a little less accent and a little less crazy up until last night, and maybe she wouldn't have lost. Although the Tallarico, whatever, is that his name?
Yeah, James Tallarico.
Yeah. What a loser.
Completely.
I think I might have preferred Jasmine.
Okay, well, they're both really, really bad, but at least somebody, well, I don't know. It's a conversation to have.
Yeah, maybe on the other side, because
I sent him a clip from James Tallarico speaking.
I think he's more dangerous than her.
I agree.
But we can fight it out. A good fist fight that will then turn into a bombing on the other side.
Let's do it.
I love how Burchett says dude. So take it with a grain of salt, dude.
His Carhartt jacket. We got to get him on the show soon. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Time with Pamela Casey, candidate for Alabama Attorney General.
Pamela started her career in the Attorney General's office in Alabama and became the Assistant Attorney General and then later on the Deputy Attorney General.
Pamela then became elected District Attorney of Blount County and was reelected in 2016 and in 2022.
In this interview, we discuss what makes her qualified for the role as Attorney General in Alabama and get to know her, her background, and even some fun questions just to get to know Pamela as a person.
We hope you enjoy the following conversation with Pamela Casey. Welcome. We are joined by District Attorney Pamela Casey, who is also running for Attorney General of Alabama. Welcome. How are you?
Good. Thank y'all for having me. It's a beautiful studio you have here.
Thank you. So let's just dive in. What qualifies you to be Alabama's next Attorney General?
Well, I'm the only one in this race that's actually tried a criminal jury trial. I've actually, for the last almost 20 years, have been working on behalf of the state of Alabama, putting killers and predators and human traffickers in prison and protecting our families and our children. I've been in front of the Court of Criminal Appeals, the Court of Civil Appeals, the Alabama Supreme Court, all the federal courts, and really had the ability to handle any job within that AG's office. I actually worked there. That's where I started my career. Assistant Attorney General. I was in capital litigation, our death penalty cases, and violent crimes, so going across the state prior to getting elected DA.
And who was the Attorney General? Was that Troy
King?
Yeah.
General King at the time.
Okay. Wow. I did not know that.
I didn't either.
What do you think the biggest weakness in Alabama's criminal justice system is today?
We do not have enough time for me to tell you all the weaknesses.
Okay, we got about 3 minutes for this
3
answer.
minutes. Number one, sentencing guidelines has kind of taken over prosecutors and judges' ability to sentence appropriately. So we have these repeat offenders that are continuing to get out. We really fill out a worksheet and you put a number and it tells me, is this a prison in or prison out? And I don't think the public understands this. It's not if you look at the statutes that's written, a Class C felony is a year and a day to 10 years. That's not the way the worksheets work. Your first offense, you are not going to prison, even if you break into someone's home and steal everything that's in their house. Under the worksheets, it doesn't work that way. So that came out in 2013. Those were voluntary, and I voluntarily didn't do them until I was told that I had to do them. And so I think that's one of the main issues affecting the criminal justice system right now is we can't put offenders, especially, and repeat offenders, if you look, somebody can commit multiple crimes before they're eligible to go to prison. And let's say
before they're eligible?
Before they're eligible to go to prison. Nonviolent offenses, you got your burglaries, your thefts, your drug cases. And so what's even more frustrating, let's say you're in non-prison on the worksheets and you get out on community corrections, or let's say you're going to probation and you keep testing positive for drugs. Every time you come in, you're hot for meth. They finally file a revocation. The judge has got to dip you, dunk you before they could ever potentially revoke you. And so I don't think the public understands, we talk about prison overcrowding and people are saying, oh, there's somebody in prison that just had a little pot on them. I'm going to tell you, I think that's very rare. And if it's because they had just a little pot on them, they probably had a very long priors, habituals to even be eligible, or they could not abide by the rules of probation to keep themselves out of jail. So, I think we've got to work on our sentencing structure. I'm a huge proponent of truth in sentencing. 3 means 3, 5 means 5, 10 means 10, 30 means 30. And I think that would change our prison overcrowding. I think it would change. It would let me tell victims, yeah, they're going to be in jail for 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. So I think that's one of the main issues that we currently have with the criminal justice system in Alabama is our sentencing structure.
Can I ask a quick follow-up question?
Yes.
So what makes the difference? Is it just who's filling out? Is it literally just a worksheet?
It's literally a worksheet. So I'm going to circle.
Like a ditto from back in
the
80s?
It gives me a list of the crimes. I circle and it gives me a score and I put it in a little box. And then I come down here and I say, do they have any other priors? 0 to 1 gets a number, 2 to 4 gets a number, 5, and then I give it another little number. And then I add the numbers up at the end, and I have a little book. I flip to the back, and I go, okay, if they scored this number, this is what I can do. They're in or they're out. It would blow your mind. And I'll tell you what else people in Alabama don't understand. I give someone a 15-year sentence. Just this week, I had a sex offender who had a rape second. A rape second would have been eligible for 2 to 20 years. That was off the worksheets, right? Because it was a violent crime. 15 years was his sentence. I got notice he was up for parole after 2 years and 7 months.
What?
Yes, absolutely. 2 years and 7 months up for parole for a rape second and a sodomy second. Absolutely.
And is he out?
No, we'll have a parole hearing. We oppose those, but it comes down to the parole board. The parole board could release them. Now, when he gets out, he'll be a sex offender, but that doesn't stop the fact that there's a victim out there that when you say, and I have to tell my victims, look, 15 doesn't mean 15. You're going to EOS earlier. And so, but it really was just another example. It's almost a slap in the face to the law enforcement officers who work it, the prosecutors who work it, and the victim who endured it, for us not to be able to make sure those violent offenders are staying where they need to be.
Wow. I had no idea.
None. I have so many questions and so little time. Welcome back to The Right Side. We are about to start working our way through, in addition to Jasmine Crockett and other stories from our montage, but we have some really interesting Alabama stories coming up for you at the end of the hour and really the beginning of the next. There's several things going on in our state that we'll be talking about, and we can't wait to get to it. But first, let us, JP, I'll let you kick us off.
Okay, I have to apologize to y'all. It took me 4 days to do this, but I have to wish y'all a happy Women's History Month this month in March. Did y'all know that it was Women's History Month?
I did.
So I really apologize it took me that long to say that to y'all. But to celebrate today, I brought laundry, I brought dishes, I brought all the things for y'all to do. So don't worry, I got you covered. Yeah,
Can I make some ham sandwiches?
I like my sandwiches with the crust off. So, but I'm sorry it took me that long, but I got you covered. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. And what I also really appreciate is that apparently Women's Month also is going to be celebrated by men who are better at being women than women are.
That's confusing. What do you
Trans
mean?
men.
Trans men.
Apparently there's some big celebration with trans men celebrating Women's History Month. Isn't that
Pretty sure I should be offended.
Yeah.
Well,
oh no, it's highly offensive.
Yeah. If you I can't say what I'm going to say.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, if you've got gumballs, you probably shouldn't be celebrating Women's Month.
That's a shock.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that disqualifies you. Pretty clearly. I don't even really want to celebrate Women's Month. Why can't we just have human beings do good things month? Whether you're male, female, black, white, brown.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
But it is funny though we don't have to spend long on this, but the people who are going to celebrate Women's History Month the most, liberals, they can't even define what a woman is in the first place.
No,
so which history are you even talking about?
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, this month it benefits us, so we're going to acknowledge that there are women. We're not sure what they are.
They're
women.
There. They exist.
They're there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I'm going to need cookies tomorrow.
I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, you make them first and then give them to me, and then I'll give them to you.
By the way, Emmy already beat us all to the punch. Apparently, she is baking sourdough because she heard you.
Okay.
She's not actually going to give it to you. She just sent me the recipe because I need to mill my own wheat, apparently, and spend more time in the kitchen.
Yeah. That's why we moved the show up.
Which I will, obviously, so that we can just stay home, our feet grounded in our home, and that's it. We're so lucky we even get out.
I got a joke.
What?
Why don't women wear watches?
I know.
Because there's a clock on the stove.
There's a clock on the stove!
Coming from a woman.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
She said that.
Charles Barkley said that on national TV. And then I just stole it. Well, happy Women's whatever.
History Month.
Bleh. Oh, yeah. So we're done with Black History Month. Then we go to women.
Yep. Which, by the way,
intersectionality.
Is it racist they made Black History Month the shortest month of the year? I think that's a bit racist.
I think it is. But
how does the black half of you feel about that, Amy Beth? Are you offended?
I'm back to can we just be human? I just finished Booker T. Washington's biography last night. It was outstanding in honor of the shortest month of the year. Yes, JP, it's racist.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I mean, every 4 years it's back to normal. But
yeah, I mean,
like
whatever.
They did that on purpose.
It's like, bless.
I know what you're about to say.
Do you really?
Maybe. If we're on the same.
Was it about the 3/5
Yes.
compromise?
Yes.
No way.
Thanks, Democrats, for that.
Yeah.
Let's just always remember who
That
started this whole
is
thing.
scary. But were you going to say it?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
But I had that thought right when you go, I can't say that. I was like, I know what she was saying. Anyway.
Anywho.
Bless it all.
Abs, stick with us.
I may.
Half of her will. The other half is gone.
I mean, it's just so ludicrous. All of it. Women's Month, Black History Month, Hispanic Month, all the 77 months for the non-binary people months. It's ridiculous. It's just dumb. So just have a good human month, like you said.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. So Texas and Jasmine Crockett, who suddenly is very worried about being disenfranchised, and apparently there's cheating, but there's never any cheating ever, except in Dallas there was cheating, and it was done against people coming to vote for her.
Well, this was the primary, so she was running against it. So is she saying that the Democrat she's running against cheated so that he could win?
Nope, Republicans cheated.
How? Well,
she just said Republicans cheated.
So Republicans wanted. Okay.
Do they have close primaries in Texas?
I have no idea. All I know is
You
that
can
she
Google
was
it.
on camera on her on her, event last night saying, "I'm leaving. By the way, Republicans cheated because that's what they always do." She said that. And it happened in Dallas. Okay. Jasmine, you lost. But like Allison said, I almost prefer you to this wacko James Tallarico. So
I think the thing about Jasmine Crockett is she is playing a character. I don't think she actually believes any of that garbage she says in the halls of Congress. I really don't. I think it's for attention, clicks, views, whatever part she's playing. Tallarico, I think he actually believes what he's saying. And to me, that's more dangerous. Now, maybe that makes him easier to beat in some ways, because I think it's like what we saw in Hoover with it was the Hoover City Council race. Man, they dug up that crazy woman's, all of her past, of some of the crazy things she said, and it came back to bite her. And maybe that's what we get into here. I don't know. But can Paxton, well, they're in a
runoff.
They're in a runoff.
Yeah. So actually, when you first brought up Tallarico being more dangerous than Crockett, my initial reaction was like, no. But the more I think about it, I agree with you, because Crockett is almost a non-factor up there. She's just, loud and crazy and says insane things. Whereas Tallarico is smart enough to pull the wool over people's eyes and lead them astray. So he is more dangerous because he's actually going to be able to be effective in terms of his agenda up there. And we can play the clip eventually of Tallarico. But I've got friends. I've had high school friends that see what I'm doing now, and I've reached out in long texts about you need to be more Christian-like with your rhetoric. And he, for example, said, look at James Tallarico. He wears his faith on his sleeve, and he's not, but he's also, and in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh,
terrifying.
This is somebody I went to a Christian high school with.
See?
So
duped. The things coming out of James Tallarico's mouth are from hell, even though he proclaims that he is a preacher, which is terrifying. So I pray that the Republicans in Texas keep it together long enough for whoever wins a runoff to win handily. But James Tallarico is he's the epitome of a wolf in sheep's clothing, and more people are willing to listen to that and have their ears tickled and go along with what he has to say, which is not great.
I don't like that term, tickling ears. That's just weird.
It is a weird term.
Anyway,
except for it's in the Bible.
Waffle.
So weird words today, guys. Weird.
Do you want to play that quick 30-second clip? All right, here's James Tallarico, who is now the Democrat candidate for Senate in Texas.
Before we go further, I want to acknowledge that our trans community needs abortion care too. Defending trans Texans is something we have to do every day at the state capitol. And you better believe I'll be giving sermons on that too. So when I use the word woman, it should not be understood as an exhaustive term, but rather as a lens through which to understand, examine, and interrogate patriarchy. Similar to how we specify anti-Black racism when
Okay.
What, can somebody interpret? So
he's for trans abortion.
So if a man, okay. All right.
So if a woman becomes a man and wants to kill her offspring, then she, as a he, can get an abortion.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
Then he's protecting. Hold on. What was the end of it?
the end of it, so he's like, he specified anti-black racism. He was saying how like the word woman is not an exhaustive term. It doesn't have an actual identity.
Okay, so woman is just a lens to see.
It's subjective.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it includes trans men.
Right.
But isn't it funny that they will still use the term woman and then it applies to trans men? And what do men do when they trans? They dress up like women. So that should lead you to the path of this is a woman.
Yeah.
And they're inherently womanly things that people do. And when you're transing, that's the only way we know you're transitioning, because you start acting and dressing like a woman.
Right.
And there are only two options when you go in for surgery: to become a male or a female, which you can't. But
Or
for the people who are playing along at home, you get two options. That's it. So it is ironic.
You're so racist.
So apparently you must always define your terms with them. He also says that God is non-binary.
Okay.
What? That's
that's a whole other discussion.
So God is wholly other. So to say and lure him into your sick little trap of God's non-binary. Okay. So from now on, can people just go when he talks, okay, James? Okay.
But he sincerely believes what he was saying at that altar.
Yes.
Well, so I actually, yes, he sincerely believes it, but I also get the vibe that he's purposefully, like, I think he's intentionally trying to lead people astray. Is that a part of me? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but if you go to seminary and do the process that you need to go through to become a pastor, there's foundationally, you can't actually. So like maybe up here, he thinks he's, being sincere, but I think deep down, he knows what he's doing, and deep down leading people astray and being a mouthpiece for evil.
So you think seminary,
I mean, if you've been through the process and hear the truth that much,
no,
foundationally, I think, and I'm saying up here, he maybe thinks it, but I think deep down there's an evil intent and trying to twist and lead people.
Yeah, but I mean, seminaries and divinity schools are some of the most liberal, non-biblical
That's true.
That's right.
departments in most schools. It's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point. That could be the case. And I'm probably giving him too much credit, but I just think he's evil.
I think he's evil, and I humbly believe you're giving him too much credit. The Bible says in Romans, he's been given over to a depraved mind. So he's just out of his mind, and yet people are listening to him. And they are coming out of seminaries that are more and more liberal and insane and don't actually believe the Bible anymore. So I think there are very few left that are super solid. Mainly, they're nutbags. Mainly.
I think it was on Jimmy Kimmel. He said the Bible doesn't talk about gay marriage.
Yes.
Okay. It's also, he said the Bible doesn't, the word abortion's not in the Bible. Well, I knit you in your mother's womb. Hello.
Thou shalt not kill.
Right. And marriage is between man and a woman. And so they love to use the word gay marriage, the word abortion is not, that's just so easily debunked.
Isn't he the one that said abortion, God condones and is okay with abortion because Mary had a choice?
Yeah, I think that was on Joe Rogan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny how those words work for him then, just like you're saying, but not like, oh, okay. So Texas, you have a clear choice. It's obvious. If he gets more than 0.0% of the vote, we got problems.
And it's scary that we're contemplating he might win. But you know who lost?
Who lost?
Dan Crenshaw.
Woo! I patch McCain point two.
Deuces.
He did not see that coming.
Dude.
Ah,
That's so bad.
JP.
JP.
Who said that?
He can see out of one eye, can he?
He can.
Yeah. So he saw
Allegedly.
Hey, I have heard
Allegedly.
his other eye might work.
Maybe.
Just saying. And Helen Keller could see too.
Yeah. Do you believe that?
Part of me does.
My sister's all on board on
yeah,
that.
part of me
Is
is
she?
like,
Yes.
she was such a fake.
Um,
My husband gets so upset when I say that.
my family is from Chris's family is from that area, and when my father-in-law was still alive, they were waiting for people to come and meet them at their lake house, and they had some friends who stopped in McDonald's. They were actually not. They were going to meet at Helen Keller's house.
I've been there. Have you been there?
Is Helen
Oh,
there?
And they went into McDonald's and they were lost. This actually happened. They were all meeting up at Helen Keller's house to take a tour, and then they were going to go over to the lake house.
Meet you at Helen's.
Yeah.
And they asked the person behind the counter at McDonald's where, like, could you point them in the direction of Helen Keller's house? And the person behind the counter yells real loudly, "Hey, yo, do y'all know where Helen be staying?" And we're like, I think we'll get this from here.
That's funny.
Maybe better luck at the gas station, not McDonald's. I bet their name was Bon Queequee.
Just you don't know.
Complicated.
But yeah, Dan Crenshaw did lose.
Oh, JP bringing us back. Okay.
Dan Crenshaw lost. Sorry, Dan. Apparently you're not. Anyway,
You
bye.
think his beef with Sean Ryan, you think that hurt him?
I think him saying he was going to kill Tucker Carlson hurt him. I think
about that one.
His insider trading probably hurt him. And then
they all do it, JP.
okay, but his is really bad. And I think the Sean Ryan was probably the cherry on top.
And then his fight, he had another fight in the airport with Ted Cruz, didn't he?
I
think he just
I don't know about that one.
Like he just is in dust ups. Okay. He likes to fight. Apparently nobody really liked or appreciated him after a while because he turns out to be a swamp creature and not an actual conservative. So bye.
Now, Al Green, the blacks, hold on. What was the sign he held up and got kicked out?
Blacks rent apes.
He covered it up.
Al Green is going to a runoff. I thought he lost, but he's going to a runoff. Is that right?
He is in a I don't know if it's official, but it looked like it was going to a runoff. I'll look
Okay.
it up.
Well, that biscuit needs to go too.
Yeah.
Yep. So Politico 17 minutes ago, Al Green and Menifee head to runoff in member-on-member Democratic primary.
Hate to see it.
Oh boy. Let's see what other good news happened.
Okay, somebody explained to me that Kristi Noem, she had to testify before the Senate, right?
Yep.
Regarding,
I think it was just in general her job so far. This wasn't in the
okay.
montage, but I just got to say Tom Tillis.
what did
Goodbye,
Tom
Thom.
with an H
He's
do?
so bad. He put her on he berated her like he was a
Yeah, he did.
liberal.
Yeah, he did.
And it's like how much of a what was the word he said? Oh, he said in terms of deportations, it's quantity or quality over quantity. And you've done such a bad job. And Stephen Miller is reshaping the culture of Homeland Security. And I was like, brother, these are the Republicans that we have. And this is why we can't get anything done. It's because of the Tom Tillis's. But he berated her almost worse than the Democrats on the panel.
It was humiliating.
And on top of he's a no on the SAVE Act. And on top of how squishy he is with it didn't shock me, but it annoyed me because it's like these are the Republicans we have in the Senate.
I loved how she handled herself. I thought it was really well done to say, he was trying to make an excuse. And what's his name again? I didn't even write his name down. Whatever his name was that she was testifying in front of. You're not counting all of the crimes.
That was Dick Durbin. I
Dick
think.
Durbin.
Yes.
Dick Durbin. But she said you're not counting on all the crimes. You're not counting DUIs. You're not counting embezzlements. You're not counting drug trafficking. You're not counting those. Again, it's back to even talking about words with Dan Crenshaw and with Jasmine Crockett and others. You always have to define the terms. And there they go again. Democrats like Dick Durbin talking about, well, you're doing the wrong thing. And she's like, yes, but that depends on what you're saying. And then at the end, she did such a good job in that short amount of time that he said, I'd like to see your numbers on that. She said, no problem. That's well done.
Yeah.
Say what you want about her, but that little bit was very well done, knowing that she'd been berated by a fellow Republican. I thought that was good.
Yeah, Durbin was like focusing on nonviolent crimes. Well, okay, so you're saying embezzlement, fraud, all of that's okay crime on top of the crime of being here illegally, like that's okay. Oh, it's just the violent crime. Yeah.
Y'all know I'm not a fan. JP might not know. I just don't. I'm not a fan of hers. Ever since she shot her puppy in the gravel, what?
I say there is that. Yeah.
I mean, like I really, and then just so joyfully wrote about it in her book. I'm like, and there are people that grow up on farms. They're like, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But anyway, I wrote her off then. I think she's done fine. Did y'all see the picture though that they held up of her plane?
Yes.
And the bedroom that looked like the Plaza penthouse?
Yes.
I'm like, girl,
you shouldn't let that get out.
Your extensions in your penthouse plane need to go. Maybe the eyelashes.
They're so long.
I'm being mean, but I mean, I really am not surprised with how that went with some of those Republicans. Some of it I think is warranted. I don't know. Some of it's warranted, but she held her own. She does a good job and she stayed calm.
Mm-hmm.
That would be hard.
That would be very hard.
You got a bunch of losers up there just trying to get their moment. Maybe they did.
Real quick before we go to break, I mean, I think the Hegseth clip is probably a deeper topic for another day, but Lindsey Graham wanting to bomb Lebanon.
Mr. President, if you're watching, I encourage you to join Israel. Join Israel. I mean, where does this stop?
Take it with a grain of salt, dude.
Lindsey.
No, that's a hard pass, Lindsey. Instead of Lindsey Graham, what could another nickname be? Captain Warpants? Like, what can we call him? Because that's what he loves. He's always like, let's go, everybody. Let's go fight some more wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Toothbrush.
Y'all, somebody, maybe Katie can call him and be like,
I just think maybe he had some red sauce before dinner.
Well, I don't know how your teeth get purple. Well, red wine?
I bet he had you're
whispering.
A red sauce with dinner and pasta. And then I think he drank a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon. And he didn't bring his toothbrush. And so he sat there and the whole world saw him lean back. And Katie Britt's like,
what do I do?
Teeth are all red. And you're like, Lindsey. So no one's listening to you this week, Captain Warpants. We don't want to bomb Lebanon. We barely want to be in Iran at all. No, sir.
As he's tipping over. I'm like, Katie better brace.
Brace.
And share. Y'all, but I mean, at least we know where Lindsey stands all the time.
Right.
You know
so there's that part of it. Like he is what he is, but it's the Republicans that are like, talking point. Wait. And trying to like Mark Wayne Mullen and others. We need more Tim Burchett's and like honest, open.
Yeah.
But at least Lindsey's what he is. We know
true.
what he is.
It's a good point.
So
I agree with you.
We're going to take a quick break, but we're coming back with Alabama news. I think Dale Strong came out talking about the Iran war. Catherine Robertson's in the news. I do have hot flash news, our first Yellowhammer sponsored, partnered hot flashing news. And then we're going to do the allegedly. We'll be back.
And y'all have heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles.
Paul and his team are experts on what they call biblically responsible investing. And for a limited time, they're hosting a free class that you can register for.
Check out the class and register for free at moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, and it's financial freedom.
Again, go to Inspire Advisors at moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. and tell them you heard about them at Rightside Radio.
Do you think Alabama has an activist judge problem?
So one good thing about Alabama's judges, I think, is that we elect our judges, our local judges. You know, federal court judges are appointed by the president. I've got a really good friend who's on the bench, a federal judge now, that we work together at the AG's office. So we have had them. I know that when I was at the AG's office, we would have situations where death penalty cases would sit in federal court on habeas for 10 and 12 years because the judges wouldn't rule on them, and there was no timeline for them to rule. So if they opposed the death penalty, they would have their original trial court habeas process and say, okay, we'll get you an order out. 10 years would go by, and you would not have judges issuing orders. So I have seen that in the federal courts, not so much in the state courts because we elect our judges. They answer to the people. They know that in 6 years, they're going to be up for an election, and they're going to have an opponent if they're not doing what essentially, and that's a hard position to play.
Yeah.
You know, my father-in-law was a judge for 20-something years, and he said, if you do your job, if when you leave, both sides are mad at you, because that means that you were fair. Because one side didn't leave super happy, and the other side super upset, and that the public, generally speaking, half of them will like you and half of them won't if you're doing the job right.
I like that.
That's good.
We should remember that in general
Truly.
in life.
Yeah, we should put that on the quote board.
You need a quote board.
We do. Like, there's so many things that have been said in here. We're like, we should probably write that down.
You need to write a book. I wish I'd started at the beginning of the campaign trail.
Writing all the stories.
A local defense attorney said, Pamela, keep a journal. I'm a writer, and I wish I could have, because, you know, it's like this. It's
It's not too late.
Oh, Lord, I'd have to take forever to catch up.
You can just start today. You got plenty of time left.
Yeah.
May 19th is, I mean, the next few months are going to be insane. We're watching what's happening in Minnesota. What tools does the Attorney General's office have to combat illegal immigration and kind of keep us out of what's happening in Minneapolis?
So I've got so many things to say about that. So I don't think that people understand. Let's say, for example, law enforcement pulls over an office or pulls a car over, and they go and guy says, I don't have a driver's license, but I have my social security number. And you go back and run it, and let's say it comes up. They could be actually a foreign national. They could be here legally and could have an Alabama driver's license. You get a social security number. So you get all those things. There's a lot of tools that we need to have in place in Alabama to assist our law enforcement in attempting to combat illegal immigration. Okay. So Alabama, the AG's office can work. You're the top law enforcement officer, right? You can work with those agencies across the state, and you're working with your federal partners to identify potential areas where you believe there could be pockets of illegal immigrants. Look, I think we all agree we're not against immigration. What we want is legal immigrants to come to our state to participate. So as AG, we're going to make sure we're training our local officers to understand and identify those people that are here illegally, and also to notify federal partners. There were years, especially as DA, that you would call the feds and call the feds and call the feds. Hey, I got somebody here, And it would take forever to get somebody with ICE or an ICE hold to come and pick somebody up. And so we've seen that transition during the Trump administration to where it's a lot easier to get our federal partners to pick up people here who are here illegally. I'll never forget prosecuting a human trafficking case for somebody who was here legally, right? Yeah. And they kept saying, just let us deport him. Let us deport him. The defense attorneys did. And I said, no, I owe a duty to all the children in the world to not put him back out on the streets. And so I think as AG, you do a really good job working with law enforcement, identifying that and understanding what the tools are. Yeah, and the public's got to understand that law enforcement has a role to play. They're not the big bad boogeyman. You know, I always find it interesting. Half the people think law enforcement's big bad boogeyman, and the other people appreciate what they do. But when these people have a problem and they call 911, who do they expect to show up? Law enforcement. Yeah. And they want them to help them.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, law enforcement's understaffed, underpaid, and overworked. And they are the people putting their lives on the line for us every single day. And, you know, you see those decisions that are made spur of the moment. It's hard. It's hard to wear a badge. It's hard to make. I've seen that for almost 20 years talking to guys, and people are leaving the force. I've got local people who are leaving because.
Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, rolling into the second hour of the show today, packed with lots of news, hot flash news, and our allegedly section. Allegedly. We are working on guests for y'all. You're going to love the people that within the span of 5 minutes have been booked for this week and next. Okay. So that's exciting. What else is exciting is something we've mentioned to you. We've had 2 things coming up, actually 3. Well, 2. I'm just going to say 2. Number 1, we have our Senate Forum. It is Tuesday night at the Hoover Public Library. We would love for you to join us there. We are hosting along with Alabama Policy Institute and its API Action. Stephanie Holden Smith is the president and CEO. And then we are also partnering with Yellowhammer. And you will get to meet probably Grayson if you are there. I think who's going to be on stage asking questions. So that's next Tuesday night at the Hoover Public Library, the Senate Forum. It is going to be packed. People have been asking about this. If you cannot be there in person, JP is a whiz, as you know, and we will be streaming it live as well. So you'll have access to that. But we'd love to meet you and see you in person. But if you're coming, it's at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Get there early. There's a buzz about this thing because they're great candidates and people want to hear from them. So make your plans to attend now. After that, we have another forum. It's going to be at the Brock's Gap Brewery. That's going to be on Monday, March 16th. Several candidates will be there, really good candidates from different races, and we'll be talking to them. That will also be live streamed. So we're going to be out and about talking to the people who are seeking to become our representatives. This is a perfect chance, especially at Brock's Gap, to get to hear from them and maybe even shake their hand and ask a few questions. So we would absolutely love to see you on March 10th, next Tuesday night at Hoover Public Library, or at Brock's Gap the following week on Monday night for a great conversation.
Also, I'm dropping the link in the live stream to register for the Senate Forum for those who would like to attend in person. You need to go online and register. So I'll be dropping that link for y'all in the comments.
Just to cover the candidates that will be there for the Senate Forum, we have Steve Marshall, Barry Moore, Jared Hudson, Rodney Walker, Dale Shelton Dees. Got to keep going.
Stop.
Okay. Seth Burton will all be there. I don't think Grayson Everett with Yellowhammer is. I think it's just you and Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
So y'all are going to have to keep it together. Grayson and I will be heckling you from the audience or hanging out with JP up in the control room.
Please.
You get a little bored up there?
Yeah.
For the meet and greet at Brock's Gap, these are the candidates that will be there. Jared Hudson, who's running for U.S. Senate. John Wall, running for Lieutenant Governor. Caroline Dobson, Secretary of State. Derek Chin, State Auditor. And Jay Welburn, who is running for the Shelby County District Judge, Place 3. We will be conducting interviews, 10-minute interviews on stage with each candidate rotating throughout the night. That part will be live streamed. And then while that's going on, the candidates will be placed around the room. You can go and talk to them, ask questions, have a chance to meet them. So both 2 great opportunities to hear from candidates. And I think that's so important because, man, we have got to be better educated voters, get to know your candidates. Don't just go by what you see on the headlines. Maybe not true. Like, you've got to dig in and really do your own homework. So we hope you'll come out for that. We'll be live streaming on Rightside Media, all of our platforms, and also Yellowhammer will have the forum all on their platforms, live streaming as well. So you can find us both places.
This is great.
This is
a
great.
lot going on.
Great.
A lot going on. Okay.
A lot.
I like it a lot.
Is Jim Carrey dead?
Did
I
you?
don't
Okay.
know. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I've been waiting for us to bring this up. Have you seen the weirdo face going on?
Yes.
Did he get Joe Biden like face implants?
No, you
What-
know who that is.
Who is it?
It's a transgender comedian, Alexis Stone, who actually came out and said that he dressed up like Jim Carrey. But
Yeah.
Where is Jimmy?
is Jim dead?
I love Jim Carrey.
Well, okay, so I thought, okay, so that was actually somebody dressed up as Jim.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. When they said that, I thought it was a like joke. Because when you watch that video, when I watched it the first time, I was like, something's not right about this.
Yeah. This is not
But then why did somebody go there dressed up as Jim?
Exactly.
Jim Carrey. We'd love to hear from you. Also, we asked the president to call us. How about you call us too?
He knew too much.
He saw things before
I thought somebody got to him.
anybody else did.
Figured he just got caught.
Got caught finally.
Oh, sorry.
Let me look at those hot tub pictures one more
Completely.
time. Those are fun days.
Oh boy, bless his heart.
By the way, real quick, did you see Clinton also get asked about that blue dress painting?
He did?
Yes.
I
What'd he
didn't
say?
see that.
They every question they asked, of course, his lawyers were like, objection, speculation. How is he supposed to know why the painting was made? Objection, speculation, ask the artist. But his face when he was sitting there, like listening to it. And then finally the question was, if he ever saw that painting in person. He goes, no, I never saw it in person. And I can't speculate as to why Mr. Epstein would have a painting of me in a blue dress.
JP, I don't even care what you just said. Your accent was so good. Your impression was spot on.
Thank you.
We all know why he was in a blue dress.
He can't speculate.
Y'all want to do hot flash news?
Yes.
Okay. Do we still use the same sound effects? Please say yes.
Yes, of course. But
Okay.
also, you should tell our Yellowhammer crowd what Hot Flash News is.
Well, hot flash news is a way that we figured out a few years ago that we can quickly get to a lot of the headlines and a lot of the stories. And we just flashing hot news brought to you by the Rightside. For some reason, okay, I've never had a hot flash, but for some reason, when I think about it, this is what it feels like or sounds like.
Excuse me.
I would like to tell you that is exactly what it feels like, but worse.
Never gets old. I mean, if Kay Ivey is not like definitively a hot flash, like she's trying so hard to get through that trumpet, that little War Eagle fight song, and I'm just trying to tell everybody I'm okay, but I'm not.
Okay, Ivy's a dead Flash at this point.
What's a dead flash?
She's not even. Does she know she's alive?
I've heard she doesn't, which makes me sad. We've got our own Joe Biden.
She's so cute though.
Yeah. Back in the day, you don't mess with Kay, but now I feel bad. Okay.
I bet she's still scrappy.
I bet to be alive this long and you know, rumors of her death for years, it's imminent. Kind of like Iran and having a nuclear weapon capability. It's imminent. They're almost there.
It's a week away.
Whatever.
You know how many times I've thought Williamsworth was going to be our governor?
7?
Yeah. Lots.
7 different times?
Lots.
Uh-huh. Girl, what you got on the hot flash news?
Anywho, Catherine Robertson, who we did a podcast with, you should go check it out at Rightside Media on YouTube.
At the Rightside Media.
At the Rightside Media. Well, no, I mean, when you go to YouTube, you just type in Rightside Media and it pulls it up.
Well, right. But if you want to be ultra specific,
Yeah.
Thanks, JP.
just trying to make sure everybody's going to the right place.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Because
right.
on Women's Day, you need to tell us how things are
Mansplain
done.
it.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
I saw what you did there. So Yellowhammer has an article, Catherine Robertson on Muslim death row inmates delay tactic. I mean, quote, he has been allowed to live to observe 34 previous Ramadans before facing his punishment. Like, she just don't care. He was sentenced to death, and it's kind of interesting because they are wanting to have a mistrial or a resentence because he was part of an auto zone shooting and robbery that occurred in Talladega County He was sentenced in 1991. However, he didn't pull the trigger. The person that pulled the trigger has been resentenced to life without parole. So he is about to be executed. He didn't even pull the trigger. Governor Ivey says this is funny. Governor Ivey reviews every case in which an execution has been ordered, and in doing so, she carefully considers all findings, facts, and circumstances, says the spokesperson for Governor Kay Ivey. So even though he didn't pull the trigger, and the man that did is just living life on parole, without parole, he's still going to die. But Catherine Robertson apparently has zero empathy. He was claiming that he should not be put to death during Ramadan, that was just not nice because it is a holy month.
Okay.
Catherine, she just doesn't play.
She is not playing.
She just doesn't play. So I think he's scheduled to die by the nitrogen
hypoxia.
Yeah.
Is that like injection or mask? They like put an oxygen mask or a nitrogen mask in this case.
Probably a nitrogen mask. We should probably look that up.
But it was kind of controversial. Remember, they weren't sure about doing it, and then they done did it.
You know, real quick. I mean, I'm not privy to all the minute details of the case, but it is a bit new. Like some very conservative pro-death penalty people in the state have actually said, you know, Sonny should not be put to death in this scenario. So it's a interesting nuanced case, but Catherine's comment. So if you're arguing that he shouldn't be killed because it's the month of Ramadan, then
wrong argument.
Catherine's response was perfect.
And he doesn't even say in his, it's in Ramadan. He's not fighting back apparently in this article. I'm sure he is. He doesn't disagree with the being put to death. He didn't say anything about that. He said it's Ramadan. That's interesting.
Do y'all not think it's weird though that he's being put to death?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I think that's really weird. For all the cases we get right, this one, and I'm very pro-death penalty.
Maybe he wants to be put to death.
Yeah.
Just not during Ramadan.
Could be.
Something, I think we've mentioned this before. The Senate passed a bill out of committee increasing penalties for attempting to elude a law enforcement officer. The House bill, it had already passed the House. Reed Ingram from Pike Road brought it. It would punish Alabamians who attempt to flee from law enforcement by a standard sentence of 366 days to 5 years in jail, compared to the current penalty of up to 1 year in jail and a $6,000 fine. I think that's probably warranted. A lot of things that happen in Montgomery, I'm like, oh, come on. Like, really, this is what we're spending our time on? But if you put police through a chase, that's really dangerous. Mm-hmm. And I think this increases it to a felony, which is good.
It wasn't a felony already?
I think
that's
it was
kind of crazy.
Just like a misdemeanor.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Think about how many people are injured, just bystanders or police officers in this, especially if it's a high-speed chase or if you have to get out, and it just makes for a bad situation.
It does.
Good on the look, we're giving lots of shout outs to the legislature lately.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, heads up, Limestone County. AL.com is reporting that you will likely see brownish water in the days to come.
Oh, that's comforting.
What?
What's in the water?
Here,
oh dear. It's never good.
A March 3rd notice from Limestone County Water and Sewer Authority said it discovered a critical system component that required immediate attention on Tuesday. The authority initiated emergency maintenance that has resulted in temporary discoloration of water at the tap in some areas.
That is not something you want to hear.
It may have a brownish, rust-colored, or cloudy appearance due to the natural sediment mobilization in the pipes. The water is safe to drink.
Sure it is.
Okay. Look, Limestone County, just go buy some bottles for the foreseeable future. I mean, who wants to drink brown sedimentful? How do you say that word? Sedimentary. Who wants to drink water full of sediment?
Yeah. Hey, it boosts your immune system.
Germs never killed any. Well,
yeah,
lots of germs could.
God made dirt and dirt don't hurt. Is that what limestone counted?
Yes.
Water and sewer.
You could use some dirt in your water.
Yeah, it shrinkens your immune system.
Yeah.
The Smoothie King employees that refused to serve the Trump
I
voter.
love this story.
They've been fired.
Oh, really?
They have been fired. Yep. Justice was served.
I actually didn't even see
And
that.
maybe a smoothie.
Wait,
finally.
You didn't see the story?
I mean, I saw the story of it happening. I didn't see that they got fired.
They're fired.
Afuera.
Out with you. And they said, as a brand, Smoothie King is committed to ensuring our stores are a place free of discrimination of any kind, where every guest and team member is treated with care and respect. And I hope that person got free smoothies for life.
Is it allowed to ask what your favorite smoothie is from Smoothie King?
It used to be the hangover over, but they don't have it anymore.
What's in that?
That's
one?
what I drank in college.
Because you had the hangover.
I actually, no, I was in bed by 10 in college. Seriously, I was pretty lame. But I don't remember what was in it. I haven't been to Smoothie King in forever.
Can I make a confession?
You've never been to Smoothie King.
No. I've been to Tropical Smoothie.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big smoothie consumer.
Power Up is great. It's great.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where there's a Smoothie King around us.
It's by Lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
It's down there. It's an easy place to stop. Anyway.
Okay. Did y'all see that? This is such a rookie move. Such a rookie move. In Iran, they were getting the assembly of experts. They were getting together again to choose their next leader. Okay. So apparently 88 of them said, hey, let's all go hang out in the same spot. Guess what happened?
They did.
They all died. Why would you do that? Especially after the stories came out that dentists have been putting tracking devices in your mouth. You don't think they know where you are? That's why we have a designated survivor?
Back up and tell people that again about the dentist tracking.
Did we I don't know if we talked about that.
We haven't.
Apparently Israel for years has had dentists and doctors planted around Iran for years. So when these leaders and people that they knew were associated with the regime and terrorism would come in, they would do the dental work and implant little tracking devices in their cavity filling. Or it actually talked about GI doctors implanting things when they were doing colonoscopies.
Chris, do we need to have a conversation?
I don't know. It's kind of freaky.
That's so freaky.
But to me, this is like the beeper story.
Yeah, I'm about to
you
say.
Just plot for years.
Oh, yeah.
So these geniuses, the assembly of experts, decide to all gather together, and they got unalived very quickly.
Well, Mossad is very good at what they, dare I say, the best at what they do.
Yeah.
Last story. Let me go to this. This is one you sent. I really haven't heard much of the Alabama delegation talking about, I mean, Tommy Tuberville did. Well, Katie Britt did. I guess she did something. But Dale Strong, story in Yellowhammer, defends Trump's authority to order military strikes against Iran. And he just said, nobody on the other side of the aisle understands. Now, they are set to vote on the war powers resolutions this week, meant to limit President Trump's military operation in Iran. I don't think it will pass, but he went on to talk about how the Democrats just don't understand the law when it comes to, and they're claiming, you know, the president doesn't have authority to do this. Dale Strong, Congressman Strong said, I don't think they got a clue. He immediately, talking about the president, immediately briefed the Gang of Eight, which, pause there. Does everybody know what the Gang of Eight is?
Yes. Well, for the audience who doesn't.
Yeah. What?
It's the top 8, essentially, of the Congress. I mean, I don't know exactly what, like, their titles or whatever, or the whatever, but the Gang of Eight is like essentially the top 8 members of Congress, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Well, it's 8 leaders of Congress, Democrats and Republicans in the House and the Senate. It's a very random group. I went and read the names, I should pull them up. Hakeem Jeffries, but then there's the Warner guy that I had never really heard of. But
is it like minority, majority leaders, and then the whips?
Yeah. It's kind of a random group, but that is the first step of what the president has to do. He goes on to say, okay, the president immediately briefed the Gang of Eight, check that box. And then a lot of people don't understand that the War Powers Act, if it fails, that just means within 60 to 90 days, he has to withdraw. He said, I don't think nobody on the other side of the aisle understands. That's what it means. So he has the authority to do what he's doing. It's just if Congress doesn't approve it, he has to withdraw within 60 or 90 days. Think we can finish this in 60 or 90 days?
No. And actually, I don't know. I think if it's declared a special military operation, this feels a little bit more to me. I don't know. I'm not willing to die on that hill, but
are the lines a little blurry
between
war and special military operation?
Because like Maduro, special military operation.
Right.
The first nuclear strikes in Iran, special military operation. But when you do something as widespread as this, and also involved as this, and also gonna have a maybe 4 to 6 week timeline, that seems a little bit more than. Like I said, I'm not willing to die on the hill of it, but it is the line's a little blurry there.
Mm-hmm. Very concerning.
Do you think though the president thought this was going to be a quick, precise military operation?
I think he was hoping for that. And like I said, I'm all for the president starring stuff like this most of the time, especially if it's quick. But I think if they were being honest with themselves and truly looked about the long-term implications and possibilities, I think Congress needed to be the ones to approve, because that's more than a special military operation.
Do you think they approve it when they vote? Do you think they will back the president? Abs is really thinking.
I believe they will, but it also depends on how well it's going. I think they could go either way right now.
So you think with what happens in the next few days dictates.
And I think that's why the Kurds are because I think the White House is realizing we're going to have boots on the ground long term. I prefer it not be our troops, which, okay, if you're going to do that, get the Kurds to do what they do, get out, leave. Right. I don't know if that will be the case. We'll probably be going alongside the Kurds, unfortunately, but.
Last story in what I'm calling a new segment called The NBA Sucks. I don't even like that word, but y'all, this is crazy. The Atlanta Hawks are hosting Magic City Night in honor of their local strip club.
It's pathetic.
Do you think we're grasping at straws to keep the NBA afloat at this point, where you have to get all your boys from the strip club to come out because nobody else wants to go watch it?
I think it's where they've always gone, and now they're not hiding what they do before and after games.
They want to honor their girls.
Oh, I know that's true. Yeah,
very thankful for you.
Yeah,
it's where they go.
That is where they go.
But
don't know why.
Where are we in a society when we're openly celebrating, promoting strip clubbage?
Strip clubbage.
Especially now after we learned what's been going on for years with all the Jeffrey Epstein human trafficking, nasty crap going on. I mean, we are messed up. But now the NBA is like, well, it's what they do already. So
a little tone deaf. Like push it back to like June.
Exactly. Stop.
Well, that's tranny.
Yeah, that's Pride Month.
That's Pride Month.
Stop in the name of lust.
Well, maybe we just do it during Pride Month.
Maybe.
Hey, I might support that. That's kind of giving Pride Month the
backseat.
Yeah, the backseat. All right, we're going to take a break. We will be right back.
This is JP here with Rightside. I need to remind you that Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. We know this audience, and you're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles and being good stewards of your resources. What if the companies you're invested in don't reflect your values at all? That's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, they are experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. They can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors, you got to go check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Worth it to them anymore to be dragged through the mud if they make the wrong decision at the wrong time or what's perceived to be the wrong decision.
Well, pivoting from that, let's talk about election integrity. What are the non-negotiables for election integrity?
Well, let me tell you what I discovered over the last 2 weeks. We just indicted a gentleman in Blount County for a non-U.S. citizen voting in our elections. He had voted 9 times. Did you know that when you go to register, and everybody, and I've kind of had this debate on social media lately, if I take someone down to register them, voter, not me, just let's say, your sister goes, she moves to Alabama, she goes down to register. A photo ID is not required to register as long as you have a driver's license or you have a social security number. Well, let's stop for a second. People who are here legally, foreign nationals, get a social security number and they get a driver's license number. As long as you put that driver's license number on it and it verifies as a valid license, you're on the voting rolls. Now let's take a foreign national. He never had to show his driver's license. Had he been required to show his driver's license, at the top it says FN driver's license, foreign national. Okay, he's now on our voting rolls or our voting list. He goes down to vote, and this is what's happening. Presents his foreign national driver's license. And let me stop and say, poll workers are angels from God. You have to sit there 14 hours.
Yep.
You can't leave, can't come back, type situation. We have polling pads. You scan your driver's license. A foreign national license will shoot up an error message. All the poll worker will do is take that license, confirm he's on that list, and give him a ballot, him or her a ballot. Okay, now, that's a problem. There's a presumption if you're on that voting list that you are a U.S. citizen, okay? I hand you a foreign national license, they may go, well, now this is a foreign national license, but you can say, well, I got citizenship since I had my license made. There are so many holes, and it's scary, And look, there was a long time I thought some of this was rhetoric. Oh, we're talking about, that's a problem. And people say, oh, well, Pamela, it was only one vote in Blount County. Well, if you look at that Guntersville mayor's race this past summer, it was a tie vote. If you look at that Senate race down in Auburn several years ago, it was determined by one vote. And I think it just goes to show one vote matters. You have so many people in the state and the country is like, I'm not going to vote. My vote doesn't count. It didn't matter. It does. And if we allow non-U.S. citizens to vote in our election, it's canceling out the legal votes that are out there. So that's a big issue that's got to be fixed. Is we've got to get the legislature to require that you provide some type of photo identification. Because here's the thing, I've dealt with identity theft cases years. What stops somebody from just getting somebody's driver's license number, going down there, putting it on the paper and getting on our voting list when they're not here legally? So I think that is a problem, but I think it's an easy fix.
So in addition to that, are there any other safeguards that you would want to implement to?
Yeah, I don't think it ever hurts to audit our elections. Okay. And let me just say this. I get audited by the public examiners. I've been audited 4 times since I've been DA. And all that is checking to make sure you're doing what's right. I've never worried about an audit. I've had 4 perfect audits because I'm like, I ain't doing anything wrong. I don't care. I think it's important that we do audit our different ballots to make sure it's working. I've talked to my guys who set the machines up several times. I'm like, tell me how that works. That's the conversation I wanted to have. And they tell me there's no way those are connected to the internet, this and that. But we all know that machines are fallible, and you just got to make sure they're working correctly. It all works right until it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So let's talk about the office. How does the AG use the departments within the state government to serve the people of Alabama well?
Okay. Let's talk about, you got criminal appeals, you got capital litigation, you've got public corruption, you've got the trial division, the civil division. So every different division within that office serves a purpose or role. First of all, over half of the employees that work in there handle a criminal aspect in the state. That's why I think it's so important that you have someone with experience in criminal law. General Marshall was a DA before he became Attorney General. I think that's why he has been successful, as he had run an office. He understood that, and he could focus on some of those outside things, federal overreach, because he had a really good grasp on the criminal aspect of it. Every criminal appeal, every trial that's tried, conviction that's made, the appeal is handled through the Alabama Attorney.
Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP.
You're rocking out.
Wow. That's happy music. So we have a segment we shall debut. JP, are you ready for me to say this word?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on our way to the segment, I'm going to say the word, but we're going to do this first, and then we're going to drop something that is really, really important to Alabamians. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready for this? Our segment is called Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's just so good, JP.
Thank you.
That's so good.
And what do we mean, guys, when we say allegedly? What are we doing?
JP?
It's rumors. It's it pretty much gives us the protection to say to defame somebody. No, I'm just kidding. To say what we think, what we're hearing, where it's not official stories, but it's murmurs, rumors, and we talk about it under the guise of allegedly, so nobody gets mad at us.
Yeah. And it can be a real story, because I have a real story. But we were told allegedly this was not true for years. That's another angle.
All right, who wants to go first?
JP.
Are we doing our country southern accents while we do the allegedly? Like grandma, Meemaw.
Yeah. It's got to be like do you have an accent?
A southern drawl accent.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Are we going to do that?
Yes.
But you need to be, okay, where do men go to gossip?
They go to the cigar lounge or the saloon.
Okay.
Or the water cooler.
The saloon.
If you're 60, you go to the water cooler.
So, hold on. I gotta pull up the story first. So y'all remember the story we talked about yesterday of West Allen bankrolling Nehemiah Wall or John Wall to be ousted from the lieutenant governor race. Y'all remember that story?
That was the ballot challenge?
The ballot challenge, yes, ma'am.
And it came out that West Allen spent $20,000 to draft that ballot challenge.
That's correct.
Okay.
So Brian Dawson was hosting a lieutenant governor forum in Huntsville last night. And after 1819 broke the story, West Allen was a no-show, allegedly, at the forum last night. But here's where the story gets interesting. West Allen on the Facebooks, I'm not on there, but somebody told me allegedly he did this. He posted that he was going to be at another forum in Huntsville later on this month. And somebody in the comments of the Facebook's post said, Wes, why'd you no show the 1819 forum last night? And Wes responded and said he was never attending in the first place. Allegedly, he said he was never even invited to go in the first place. Oh, well, he said I wasn't scheduled to attend. So maybe he was invited. So who do you think is correct? You think Wes was correct? He wasn't going in the first place. Or do you think Brian Dawson was correct and that he never even he pulled out?
Well, I think that probably he was probably never able to attend, because if you listen to his language, he said I was never intended to attend.
Never scheduled.
I was never scheduled to attend. So it appears that his language, again, there's that word language. He was invited, but he didn't feel like it because that whole story rolled out about him. Mm-hmm. And so now it appears Daddy done did it. And he maybe have screwed up.
What do you think, Allison?
Well, Phyllis, I think that You are right.
Mm.
I think Wes Allen got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
I hope those cookies were delicious.
And he said, I can't go eat this cookie in front of all those people. I should stay home and eat this cookie in private.
Yes.
And so he stayed home.
Hey, since my name is Phyllis, could you remind me of what your name is?
Well, you have to give it to me.
Oh, okay. I think I maybe name you Crystal Jewel.
Well, this is a true story. When I was
He's
growing
Bobby
up,
Joe Gentry.
When I was
Just call me
growing up
Cletus.
Cletus.
Okay. In East Tennessee, you know that Union County I grew up in
Yankee.
Knoxville.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I was in a youth group with a girl.
Yes.
I'm going to choose my own name.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Because I could be Crystal, actually, if you want me to.
Oh, it's funny you say that. I was in a youth group with this girl, and her name was Crystal Bush.
Really?
But one day, and y'all, I'm not kidding. It came out that her given name was Ima Rose Bush. And she changed her name to Crystal, but I would like to be called Ima Rose Bush.
Okay, I'll call you
You're a
Ima
what?
Rose Bush. If you would mind, I know my first name is Phyllis, but I would really like to be Phyllis Crystal Jewel with the last name of Crown.
10-4. I feel
Okay.
that's a lot of names. I'm not sure I can remember all those.
You just call me CJ.
I'm just Clutus. And call me Clutus.
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 Okay, just call me Crystal. Okay, just call me Crystal.
Crystal, Ima, and Clutus.
Crystal.
Includus?
Clutus.
That's my full name. Just
Clutus.
include it, but
Clutus.
just call me Clutus, please.
Clutus.
We're close.
Clutus.
Includus is my father.
I'm
Clutus.
writing. I'm laughing so hard that I'm sweating a little bit.
I really hope nobody from Yellowhammer's watching. They're gonna be like, "Cut."
Hey,
okay, but
All
you
right.
know what? That's why, honestly, the news is heavy. The news is tough, and every day is like it's not fun.
No,
but we will try and make it fun.
Yes, we will.
But just last thoughts. on
Yes,
West
Clutus.
Allen.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
what do you
sorry. So
think?
sorry. Clutus.
I could see both sides of it.
You can?
If you're Brian in 1819 and what's the best way to promote your store on West Allen? Is to say he pulled out. Dramatically, he pulled out. However,
real good stuff up there.
However, West Allen is not a very trustworthy guy. I wouldn't leave him to babysit my dog. I don't trust him that much. So he could have gotten upset and genuinely pulled out. But he claimed, allegedly, he was never scheduled to attend to begin with. So I could see both sides of it. However, regardless, I don't trust Mr. Allen.
I think I'm gonna have to side with Brian Dawson because he has a lot to lose if he lies about this. And Wes Allen seems to be able to spend a lot of money to get to the bottom of things. And so if I'm Brian Dawson, I'm probably not wanting to lie about such ventures and people.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
I do love a good dust up though. This is exciting.
This is so exciting. This is real exciting. Okay.
Watch y'all. This is going to be like our highest rated segment when we put it
Ever.
on social media.
Ever. Okay.
Do you want to go, Phyllis? What you got?
Oh, listen. I'm Phyllis Crystal. Okay? I'm Phyllis Crystal. All right.
Jewel.
Yes. So
hyphenated.
Just give me a minute while my my southern accent settles in for a second. Okay, there she is. So, there's been a story out about for years, and people said this was not true. We have even talked about it in the past. Amma. We have talked about this story in the past because people have said this is just not true about Roundup and pesticides. And they said, sure to goodness, our government would never, ever do anything bad like this. That they wouldn't sell a product that gave people cancer. Okay? But I'm here to tell you something different. Okay? Okay. The Wall Street apes, I don't know who them is, but they are on that X platform. But apparently, allegedly, federal court unsealed documents revealed the Barack Obama EPA, that is Barry Hussein Sortero, for those of you who are in Realville, Mississippi, has been working with chemical company Roundup to hide evidence showing the dangers of pesticides.
Well, I'll be.
Daddy done did it. It always comes back to Barack Obama. There has been documentation showing that Monsanto, who was the previous owner that Bear bought, that, started Roundup, was actually colluding. That is the right word, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Colluding with the EPA to prevent real science from getting out to the American public about the danger of this chemical. So, a federal court has unsealed documents in a mass litigation lawsuit Tuesday, raising new questions, not only about Roundup safety, but also about Monsanto's research practices. So, y'all, what I'm going to say to y'all is get you rid of that Roundup if you got it in your house. And the reason I'm telling you because it's March, and we know we don't plant our flowers in I think we're in on that map from Southern Living, we're in 8. Mm-hmm. We're in zone 8, maybe zone 9. And we don't plant before the end of the March. Okay. But I'm telling y'all, get rid of y'all's Roundup, because allegedly they hid the science, and Barack Hussein Obama, Barry, hid it all.
I never trusted that man.
I didn't either. But we can say again, Daddy done did it.
Did you trust his wife, Michael?
No.
His husband,
Michael.
Allegedly.
He must pay him a lot of money. They even keeping that quiet, even though it's just so odd.
Why in the world, though, Phyllis,
yes,
would Donald Trump put in executive orders and things to protect the glyphosate?
Well,
and the Roundup.
I really don't know why he do that, except that he hates people, and he believes in that whole population bomb thing. He did go to the Ivy Leagues or some such, and so I think he's got some screws loose.
Wait, are you talking about Donald Trump?
No, I thought you meant Obama.
No, I said Donald Trump.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about Barry Soetoro.
Sorry, pause. He just passed, or not passed, but signed that whatever.
Yeah, to give immunity to.
Not good. Do not appreciate big fail, Trump. Yeah. This is bigly huge. Stop. This is awful.
Yeah, I don't like it.
0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Especially
thumbs down.
Since they've been hiding it. Well, anywho, did y'all know? Now, I don't have a news story about this. This is literally just what I hear when I'm at the beauty parlor or down at the post office.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Because I like to pay my bills by postal service still. So
Smart.
I go down and I learn a lot. And this is just what I'm hearing. So, over in Georgia, where I grew up.
Yes, ma'am.
George Soros has been dabbling in the power company and the Public Service Commission races and appointments over there.
You don't say.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I mean, George.
Shocker.
I can't believe he's still alive. I had heard he was getting sick, and Gloria told me he didn't have much longer, but that man just holds on and seems to never go away. Well, they've been working over in Georgia to make some changes.
Devil went down to Georgia.
And apparently,
yes,
allegedly,
yes,
that is how we got the Public Service Commission dust up from a few weeks ago.
Oh.
That George Soros and some of his cronies, his besties, his homies have some entity that dumped a bunch of money into Alabama, and they wanted to stir up dissent and hate and distrust of Alabama power. And so what the goal is to break up Southern Company.
Oh.
And so this group came in and they said, we'd like to cause a concern and bring a lot of attention to the Public Service Commission because, most people don't pay attention to those little down ballot races.
That's right.
And they're
That's
like,
right.
I don't even know what the commission does. And so this Soros-backed funding group came in and said, we're going to draw a lot of attention and we're going to sow distrust because we want to break up Southern Company and Alabama power. And you know what?
What?
I think Montgomery did their bidding.
You don't say.
Now, I don't know, though. I cannot prove that Montgomery knew they were doing their bidding.
Yeah.
I think they were used as pawns.
Miss Ima.
Yes, sir.
Don't tell me that's true.
I think it's true. I mean, it's just what I'm hearing.
Allegedly.
But I think we got, as they say, played.
Mm.
And we almost went down with the ship. But we've been saved for the moment. Although, maybe they accomplished it because everybody is paying attention to these races now. Everybody.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
they
say
are.
this. Mr. Soros doesn't know his ass from a handful of sand, so
Mhm.
I don't trust that man one bit. However,
Mm.
allegedly, if our legislature in Montgomery did his bidding for him, we got some problems. We got some serious problems in that old state house, the moldy state house. I was there when that got built. 1860, whatever.
It was a long time
It was a
ago.
long time ago.
Long time ago.
It smells real bad in there.
It smells like cigarettes.
However, I don't even know what the Public Service Commission even does, but I don't like that Mr. Soros has it in his crosshairs.
I do know, allegedly, I've been hearing that there are some of the supporters that came out for that bill, some strong conservative supporters, that we all were just scratching our head like little monkeys, trying to figure out what was going on, that they really didn't even understand. And they feel very, very taken advantage of.
I bet they do. And they should.
Everybody just pay attention to the race. Make good choices, as my mama used to say. She used to say some other things too, but I won't say them. Maybe someday. Make good choices, people. Do your homework. Don't be lazy. God calls us to work. And sometimes we got to work to save the republic. And that's all Ima Rosebush has today.
Miss Ima. Words for Miss Ima.
It's a good word. Good word. Y'all, it's a real good word.
That was exhausting.
Okay, but we did it. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay, this story, though, is not allegedly.
This is a big story. Go ahead.
This
Drop
is
it,
a big
Sinclair,
story.
like it's hot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like. Let me pull up the bill.
Okay.
And let me put on my glasses.
Okay.
Y'all, last night, House Bill 541.
Okay.
Which, holy cow, let me just pause there.
Five.
Why in the world does our House need to file 541 bills in one session?
Same brain.
That's not even the Senate side. This is just getting stupid and ridiculous. This is a bill that would close our primaries. This is a bill brought by Ernie Yarbrough But the crazy thing is, I'm going to read y'all the list of sponsors on this bill.
Okay.
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 You ready? Yarborough.
Okay.
Check.
Okay.
Stodhagen.
Yes.
Butler.
Okay.
Myrex. Harrison. Keel. Underwood. Hammett. Wharton. Treadaway. Pettis. Ream. Pascal. Mooney. Ledbetter.
Huh?
Yes.
Really?
The Speaker of the House, Nathaniel Ledbetter, who allegedly was caught on tape saying that he doesn't give a crap about the Republican Party. Allegedly, it was in regards to closing the primaries because the party has voted for that several times. This would close the primaries, and it would be the primaries would be managed by the party, not the state, that's what we talked about. Like, you have to be careful. I had heard allegedly there was another bill that they were thinking about dropping that would have been carried by James Lomax, that bill was going to be the closed primaries were run by the state, which is sketch. You don't want that.
No.
So this is the bill that we want. Allegedly, it will pass the House, and allegedly the Senate actually has the votes to pass it as well.
This is incredible. Could you give a little sound effect, sir? Because this would be the dream, is after our little video.
Yeah, I was out of the country.
JP.
I had nothing to do with it.
After our video, you could stamp done across the top of it.
So nobody has to call the State House.
Today,
At least not
flashing
today.
lights, ShamWow.
Yeah. Yeah.
This would be huge, y'all. The Republican Party has been asking for this for years. The state of Alabama, again, closed primaries, has their issues. It's not a silver bullet, but we've got to do something about it. And the fact that Speaker Ledbetter has signed on to this bill is very encouraging. I hate how we had to get here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe things change going forward, but if you see Ernie Yarbrough and Nathaniel Ledbetter on a bill together, it's potentially a new day.
Well, okay. So yeah, we've talked about this. Conservatives typically don't play this game very well because, I mean, it's not fun to put people on the spot and have to, use leverage, so to speak, because I think most of the time conservatives, they expect the person on the other side of the aisle, or even in this case on the same side of the aisle, to have the same intentions in terms of, they assume everybody's best intentions, and that's not always necessarily the case in politics. I know it's a shock, but I think in this case with Ledbetter, which I've still got issues with a lot of what Ledbetter claims to be about. I think we all have some reservations on this. But in this case, when that audio came out and we put Ledbetter on the spot, we being us, conservatives in the state, and there was an outroar, that I think collectively is how we got to this spot, because now Ledbetter started to feel the heat. Eyeballs were on them. Spotlight was on him, and he kind of had to find a way to get the load off of him and off of his shoulders. However, we used that, we again being conservatives, to get something like this done, because I think Ledbetter felt as if he needed to throw a bone, so to speak. Here, I'll give you this if we just relax. So we can move past. We can turn a page. I'll give you this. We'll work together on this. That's a win, though. And conservatives don't use that card, so to speak, enough. Some people may think it's dirty. Sneaking in a phone into a closed door meeting is, maybe not the best optics wise. However, from that, I think that's how we were able to get this accomplished, which is a win. So that being said, conservatives need to learn to play the game like this a lot more. Maybe we can get more good stuff like this done. So,
well said. I agree. This is perhaps, though, I'm excited about the possibility of a new day. So here's hoping.
The phone thing is a problem. I really have an issue with that, and I think they're close to allegedly they're close to knowing who it was, and it's not going to be good for them. I mean, I'm guessing they'll probably get kicked out of the caucus, probably. And there should be repercussions for that. I don't know. Again, I'm torn because we got something accomplished. I think there were maybe better ways to do it. But the other thing, and I'm also hearing from Montgomery, is that actually the speaker is reaching out to a lot of people that maybe he hasn't in the past. And he's having conversations with them that, tell me more about why you think this way. So again, we're not there. We're not on the inside. It could all be lies, but I see some really good movements. If everybody does what they say they're going to do, and this isn't just another, here's the deal. And we know this all too well. We have experienced this with several bills that we've watched for years. Oh, the House. Yes, we're going to get it out of committee and we're going to get it passed. And the House is going to do their job. But then it goes and dies in the Senate. Well, we just ran out of time. We didn't have the votes. So the House, I hope that's not what's happening with this, with Ledbetter and, signing on. I hope it's not I'm going to sign on to this to get them off my back. But then the Senate isn't just going to be able to do it. We're way past, we see through that. I'm hoping that this is actually in good faith and moving forward.
I agree. I agree with both. I agree that we have to play the game better. I agree that we've gotten burned. I agree that different situations require different tactics. I think so much good has come out of it that that's the path we can focus on and stay on, and let's see what actually gets done. Because usually, you're right, we get to the end of sessions and we're like, what was that about? We don't even know what got done. So if it brings people together, sometimes you have to do the unthinkable to make the thinkable, the what you dream of possible. Sometimes, not all the time, because there should be a right to privacy. However, why in the world would somebody feel like they needed to record that unless something happened repeatedly that they're like, nobody's going to believe me unless I record this? So I do think about that, but I'm excited for what could be.
Here's the thing. We don't need to sneak phones into meetings to play the game.
That's right.
I mean, it was savvy that kind of plopped in the lap of conservatives to use. However, you really don't have to do that. I mean, you could use votes on certain things, or I don't know, you don't have to go and violate people's trust and privacy to play the game and get what you want done. But I mean, if you're wanting to get something done and put somebody on the spot and that kind of plops in your lap, I think they used it to get something good done.
Yeah. And don't tell me that you can't, as Republicans, use your vote or your non-vote. I mean, the entire Senate is terrified of Bobby Singleton, Democrat, because he can hold up the whole legislative process. And so they end up kind of cowering to him often. So if one man in the Democrats can affect change with a vote or without a vote, then come on, we should have a good solid chunk of Republicans that can do the same.
That's right.
It's just really, really scary to do it so publicly.
Don't want to meddle.
Don't want to meddle.
Yeah.
Y'all, I think it's almost
music's about to start.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I had fun. Allegedly.
We have a guest tomorrow. It's going to be good.
You want to tell who it is?
Stephanie Smith is coming on with us from the Alabama Policy Institute. Talk about the forum. Talk about perhaps gambling. And other issues going around the state, because you know who knows stuff? Stephanie.
I swear I think she knows everything.
It's frightening how much she knows. So we're excited. And then we have next week almost completely booked out with guests. And then we have a special guest on Friday. I'm so excited.
Friday's going to be good.
Yeah. So we're just getting cranked, and we're cranked up.
Crunk.
Get crunk and get loud. We're excited you're here. And we look forward to growing and all that's going on the right side.
See y'all tomorrow.